Hey, Bob Squad, it's me, Bob, Commander of the Bob Squad. Just letting you know that today's podcast is brought to you by Wild Cherry Pepsi Zero Sugar. Same delicious, refreshing zing and zest as Wild Cherry Pepsi, but with none of the sugar and none of the calories. Go to Pepsi.com /Wild Cherry /Zero Sugar. Enter the promo code Bob Squad, and you'll probably get a cease and desist order. I'm not sponsored by anyone. It's the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you're distracting the referee because the babyface has your wrestler pinned. Then you get punched in a ring apron and you realize all the trouble you're in on the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. Two more. Sometimes you go over the top rope and you bang your head on the ring apron. Don't do that. That's when you feel like a big dope. They're the worst bumps you can be taking. Oh, it's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. So you got the guy in an abdominal stretch, and you grab the rope for extra leverage, and you get a concussion from the angry rush, and you get paid with a diet soft beverage. Hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Now double claps. Clap, 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 clap. The hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da. Whoa, yay. What is going on, Bob Squad? We are bushwhacking our way through another episode of Hardest Part of the Ring. Thank you so much for being patient. I know there was no hardest part of the ring last week. No WWE Raw Hulu edition. We're not limited enough commercial interruptions. They don't limit them damn nearly enough. Maybe I'll talk about it next, arguably. But Mom is better. She's coming home after almost 2 weeks in the medical facility, if you will. Oh wait, we don't have to say. I could say hospital again because Triple H is in charge. Okay, she was in a hospital with doctors, not medical personnel. Okay. Anyway, be that as it may, things are better. So let's. Thanks for being patient with me, and let's jump into this very special episode of Raw. Not really a special episode of Hardest Part of the Ring. There's nothing special about this one because, like always, we opened the show with Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant to John Cena's soothing voice, and that was excellent. Where's my notebook? What did we do? Well, I'm going to get right into the wrestling today. Well, we'll do the business at the end. This was in Toronto, which apparently Toronto is in a country called Canada, and it is actually north of America. So a lot of Americans don't know that, but it's like a whole other country. But they look like us, but they're very polite. So and they have health care, and they don't shoot each other, so it's not the same as America. They're Americans in disguise, but they're like the IKEA furniture, like the floor model display versions, or better yet, when you see like a commercial, like a Burger King commercial, the burger in that commercial looks delicious because it's like half fake and they put stuff on it. It's like not edible. They put certain shiny crap on it and everything else to make that burger look amazing. That's really what Canada is for the U.S. Canada actually is that really amazing looking burger, and then you go to the actual America and you get crap for $4.99 in a folded up piece of paper that a teenager may have spit in. So, yay! We open the show. I love this, and this is such a Triple H thing. We open the show with something fucking happening. A brawl is already in progress. Riddle and Seth Rollins are backstage, and naturally, gradually, more guys are trying to break up this fight because there are people around. It's a live program. And we just open the show, and man, there's a fight. Okay, something's happening, and they brawl their way out into the arena area. I think they went through the crowd and got over the barricade, and I think Riddle eventually jumped off a barricade and knocked a few guys over, did one of those. Like, okay. But stuff happened. Without them having a match, we established on this program these two guys do not like each other. When they see each other all the time, they're going to start swinging. And they're going to actually wrestle each other in a match where they're allowed to start swinging without guys breaking it up at the Cardiff thing in the UK, which is the Saturday after next, September 3rd? 3rd, I think. So there you go. I'll do a hardest part of the ring for that. Here you go. Okay. So this was excellent and brief. It was like 1 minute, 2 minutes, and it was very good. But then we open Raw regularly, and this is fine. We open Raw how we open it. Trish Stratus has returned just to say hello and wear yoga pants, and she did great at both of those things. Her buttocks are shapely. Bob, 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 Bob. Stop it. Stop it. She has her Canadian accent came back. She said a boot. So they, because I'm sure whenever especially back in her day, and I don't know, 99, 2000, 2001, somewhere in that vicinity, I'm sure whenever anyone who doesn't have either a basic Midwestern or somewhat New Yorkie dialect comes to WWE, the turds like Kevin Dunn and his Bucky Beaver teeth and Vince McMahon, they try to pound either the Southern out of you or the accent from whatever country you are. They pound that out of you, or they pound the Canadian out of you, or even if you're too New Yorkie, they pound that out of you. Everyone just has to talk like this weird vanilla blah blah blah. Basically, you have to talk like Vince. So she said a boot, so that was nice. And then Bailey interrupts with Team Kai and Sky. And Bailey and Kai and Sky tell Trish Stratus they like her yoga pants. No, they don't, but they should have. And then the Kai and Sky and Bailey outnumbered Trish, and then Bianca Belair comes out. And now it's 2-3, and Trish says, "Hey, maybe I will come out of retirement just to beat your ass." Yada yada. And Asuka and Alexa come out, and now the baby faces have the 4-3 advantage. And I never like situations where baby faces have the numbers advantage. It's like good guys winning the coin toss in war games. What does this do? But whatever. It gives us a good excuse. You know, everyone is happy to see Trish, and they give us a tag team match. Alexa and Asuka, of course, versus Team Kai and Sky, Dakota Kai and Io Sky. And, of course, Kai and Sky is victorious. Alexa wrestled a little more like she wanted to be there than usual, so that was good. Um, I think a lot of people want to see Asuka versus Io, which is actually kind of racist. They just want to see the two Japanese women fight based on their race. Is that what they want? You know, because they have a harder hitting style and everything else. We didn't really see a lot of that. I didn't think the match wasn't amazing by any stretch of the imagination. Because I like Kai and Sky individually. I think they're a lot of fun and have a great personality. It seems like they're trying to do a couple of things at once. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, it just wasn't hitting. It just wasn't tickling my taint. I don't have to tell you. Asuka got rolled up. She didn't see a blind tag from Dakota to Io, or Io to Dakota. I forget. One of them pinned Asuka. Jesus, no, I don't know. Whatever. So there you go. So I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, they're going pretty hot heavy with Bailey's group, so she's going to win. Her team's going to win the tag team championships. I think that's especially now that their biggest contenders are out. I mean, it's let me take a sip of wild cherry Pepsi Zero. Hold on. Oh, that is delicious. Okay. On the Hulu edition, the Alpha Academy is here, and he says something. He makes fun of hockey teams, and I guess a Toronto team lost to a Miami, Florida team, and Miami doesn't have ice, so I guess that's embarrassing. You know, they do just manufacture the ice, right? That's how warm cities do that. But be that as it may, and Chad Gable gives an open challenge to whoever. Kevin Owens comes out, big badass babyface, and people lost their minds for Kevin Owens. He did take a German suplex on a apron, which is the hardest part of the ring if you didn't know that. No, but Owens beat his ass, and I think he even gave Gable too much personally, but whatever. Because Gable gave him a few suplexes as any other thing. Owen did a few big moves and beat him with the pop-up powerbomb, and everyone on the internet lost their minds. Oh, he's using that as a finisher again. I didn't know he got rid of it. I just thought he was leaning on the stunner. I didn't realize the pop-up powerbomb had disappeared. But whatever. But then we did see a stunner because Otis attacked Owens afterwards, and he took a stunner for his trouble. Okie dokie. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next match. I'm stumbling my words because I want to get to this so fast. I don't want to get through it fast. I'm just eager to get to this. Bayley finally wrestled on Raw. In her first match back, she defeats Aaliyah. And my only note for Aaliyah, I wrote down, oof. Apparently the internet is shitting all over Aaliyah's performance. I didn't see any of that, but most of my stuff I follow is pro Johnny Depp and stuff about Amber Heard being a liar. So, and usually it's some AEW, WWE fights. So I really don't know anything about. I didn't see anybody giving shit to Aaliyah, so I don't know. I do not dislike Aaliyah. I and I don't think she's bad. Yeah, she may have been brought up early because she wasn't keeping up. She wasn't giving Bailey what Bailey needed to be there. Bailey's first match. Well, first of all, I thought Bailey's first match back, she should have been vicious and dominant, and should have been over relatively quickly. They gave this a lot of time because I think Aaliyah. I think she's from Toronto as well. I don't know why bother with that because Trish Stratus and Edge, holy balls, so two Hall of Famers bookend the show from Toronto. We gave them enough Toronto stuff. Oh, and the big Kevin Owens, he's more Montreal than Toronto. I don't think he grew up in Montreal, but near it or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But whatever. We had enough Canadian, more than enough Canadian hero returns that we didn't need Aaliyah. Just didn't even need. They really didn't even need to bring it up much. They could save that for somewhere a year or two down the road when things are better, hopefully. Uh, yeah, she's. There was some kind of fumbling and stumbling, and I don't think she was keeping up and moving around and selling fast enough and properly for Bailey. I don't think she was in the right spot a lot of times. I have to rewatch. It's been over a day now. I have to rewatch it, but it kind of seemed like Bailey was spending too much time putting Aaliyah where she had to put her, and not enough time letting the crowd know she's Bailey and she's a different wrestler and she's still a great wrestler, but a meaner wrestler, and she's here to hurt somebody. She did a few things I liked. I guess she bit Aaliyah's ear and did some other nasty stuff. There's another thing I can't think of it right now, but whatever. So Bailey hit her wacky finish on Aaliyah in 1, 2, 3. Looked visibly annoyed. She did look annoyed. I don't know if that's gimmick or whatever, but I don't know. I think she looked pretty annoyed. So that's unfortunate. I don't think Aaliyah was a good choice for that match. I guess Alexa and Asuka, either one of them would have been better, but they were tied up in the tag, and everyone else is a heel. God damn it, except Dana Brooke, and Dana Brooke never makes Hulu, so I don't know what else Dana did on this show, or even if she is the 24/7 champion anymore. I don't know the answer, but there's got to be some. I'm sure I'm missing somebody too. I am always missing somebody. Either way, somebody else could have done that and maybe done it a little smoother. Maybe not. Maybe they keep since Sasha and Naomi left. And Bailey did do. Speaking of Sasha, did an homage. She did one of Sasha's moves where she has her opponent laying horizontal between the second and top rope and steps on jumps and lands her knees on their stomach. So there you go. Add to the speculation. 1, 2, 3. That was over. Mercifully. Miz and Ciampa are in a tag team match against Bobby Lashley and AJ Styles. This was fine. Nothing bad about it. I didn't dislike it. It was a WWE tag match, and Ciampa's doing all the bumping for the team as if he's like the rookie, and he is the rookie, I guess. But also, he's been wrestling a long time, had neck surgery and everything else, so it's kind of like pick your poison. But I guess in this story, yeah, it still makes sense. He's still kind of in that protege role, but they're bumping him up a bit. You can tell by the way they had him more competitive with Bobby than we thought that he would be. But anyway, this match had a wacky, a kind of a little bit of a mini swerve finish, but still something. They had some random guy, probably an NXT's trainee or student or whatever the hell, pretend that he was going over the barricade to attack AJ, and security was right on him, which gave an excuse for Dexter Lumis, and they finally said his name on TV, and we know it wasn't a real fan attacking because they kept the camera on it and just said the announcers went, "This is weird. Good thing security's here." But it wasn't. It didn't slap me in the face as blatantly fake or stupid. It was just kind of like, "Oh, we're trying." Okay, so I went with it. And Dexter Lumis, his part was less believable. He rises up from the other side of the ring, from the barricade with a SWAT team helmet on, takes it off, and he grabs the Miz over the barricade and kidnaps the Miz and takes him away down the arena, and that was that. So that created a distraction. The match just kind of ended, and both AJ and Bobby Lashley hit a phenomenal forearm and spear, respectively, on Tommaso Ciampa. And that was that. So they said Dexter Lumis, and I think Dexter Lumis appeared on NXT um, to briefly reunite with Indy Hartwell, who he was married to when he was in that group that was oddly enough headed by Johnny Gargano. Interestingly enough. And next up is Johnny Gargano. Whoa! Gargamel is on the show. Did not see this coming. Haven't seen this guy in about a year. He had a baby. Well, his wife had a baby. You understand. She got impregnated with his semen. The sperm fertilized the egg, and another human. You understand. And while they were delivering babies. I was delivering Uber Eats. So how about that? I was giving rich people their Chipotle burritos, and they were making humans. Anyway, they chanted baby wrestling for his baby, and he gave a nice "I'm a good guy" speech. I have a nice haircut, yada yada yada. Very surprised. I mean, obviously Triple H is bringing all his favorites back, but Toronto pretty much knew who he was, and they were surprised. And I love that the internet kept it a surprise, which really means Gargano kept it a surprise. He didn't tell anybody or hint and give it away, and it was really well done. And he was interrupted by A-Town Down, Theory, and Theory talked up Gargano, but talked down Gargano, and he told Gargano he could be his assistant now, that the student pretty much beat the teacher, went for the no-look high-five thing, and Gargano gave him a super kick, and the place went banana, and we know Gargano was a good guy, because they had him kick Theory, who was an arrogant, chicken shit bad guy. I will say this, and again, Twitter gave this away, like, immediately, so this was no surprise to me. Can you hear my fridge humming in the background? Goddamn it, I may, hopefully not. The crowd went really nuts for Gargano and the entrance and the song and everything else. But whenever Gargano, or really Theory, started referencing stuff from The Way and that group, the response got lesser. Like, they responded to anything 2016, 2017-ish about NXT. But when they started referencing 2019, 2020, the people kind of died down. Which means they didn't like that era as much. Most people didn't. Or they just weren't watching. So NXT did have a heyday, I think, of, you could say, later 2015 into... Yeah, 2015 too. Yeah, 2015 counts, sure. 2015 to 2018-ish, 19, whatever. It doesn't feel like there was a really good NXT episode like after COVID. Oh well, COVID killed it. Speaking of killing it, our main event is next. Damian Priest wrestles Toronto's own Hall of Famer for the first time on wrestling and on Raw. And in Toronto on 10 years is Edge. Yay, Edge. Everyone likes Edge. Little nitpick. Nothing was wrong with the match. It was a fine match. Edge versus Priest. Little nitpick here. They showed Beth Phoenix sitting in the front row. So later there's interference, and I actually forgot. Did Edge pin Damian? Yeah, he did. I think he did. Did he? Or was it a DQ? Edge won this somehow. Who the fuck knows? Finn Balor runs in and does the coup de Gracie and the stomps. Three of them, including Rhea, are beating up on Edge, and the Mysterios are busy. So Rey Mysterio can't come out because for some reason, and Dominic can't come out because he has an erection. And so Rhea's about to start pounding on Edge, and that's when Beth jumps the barricade and holds the chair. And this is very smart. Instead of having Rhea just run away, like Vince would have, I guarantee you, because it's, and no offense to Beth Phoenix, because she actually is one of my favorites, but I don't know if she's twice. She might be. I don't think she's quite twice Rhea's age, but up there, close to that. And even with a chair, why would Rhea run away? So they didn't have Rhea run away. Rhea still wanted to get at her, but Priest and Finn pulled Rhea back. Little detail, and I knew this was going to be one of the biggest improvements. Were going to be the little details of this show. A lot of these dumb little questions that only wrestlers ask because they're the ones that have to endure all the stupid questions. Yeah, a wrestler, of course, is going to be like, no, wait, no, wait. Why is this one backing down here? All these little things do matter. And subconsciously, even when the brain doesn't think, they're thinking of them. They're thinking of them as they're watching it. And this was not what Vince was a big picture guy. So Rhea still wanted to get at Beth with the chair, but the two guys held her back. That's all. And Beth looked strong, but she was standing up. She didn't have to touch anybody. She just had to stand up to the bullies and showed that she was prepared to fight the bullies, especially the big bully Rhea Ripley, if she needed to. That's all Beth needed to do. And Beth's Canadian as well. So we got Beth, we got Edge, we got Owens, we got Trish Stratus, four great, big popular Canadians. And Aaliyah also represented. Yikes. Sorry, Aaliyah. I hope things get better. Just again, maybe it's nerves too. I think it's her first match on Raw. It's Toronto. The responsibility of having to be Bayley's first match is like a big deal. It could be a lot of those things too. You don't really know unless you're one of the two people or three with the referee. You don't really know unless you're one of the two wrestlers in a ring, ever really, exactly what was going on. We just knew it just wasn't happening. So hopefully it gets better and nobody just writes her off and shits all over her. Or if they are shitting on her, if you're bothering Aaliyah for having a bad match on TV, leave her the fuck alone and go outside, dude. Okay, it sucks. I know. Guess what? I'm sorry. Are you the best at your job? Did you never had a bad day where you did something stupid, right? I once had some quote unquote smart doctor lady tried to put papers in the cop photocopier with whiteout on them that was still like wet, ruin the whole goddamn thing. Doctors, okay, relatively smart people. Whatever. I once had a doctor ask me at a hospital medical facility that I worked at. She said, "Both of your copiers on this floor are broken. Do you have a backup?" No. If both of them are broken, there's only two. One of them was the backup. You are incorrect. Okie dokie. Business. Flash in the pan. My Flash G.I. Joe Sunbob crossover is complete. It is complete. And ready. So I think I set it to. I don't really like, especially with that kind of thing. Again, I don't like having a live premiere because the thing is, it's cool to have folks in a chat chatting, but this is a 45. It's a beast. It's a 45-minute monster. I put easily over 100 hours of work into this. Uh, so a selfish part of me is like, I don't want people just chatting away. Like, if you're gonna watch it, please just watch it, and maybe chat some other time. But my Friday night, so your Saturday morning, I'm gonna hit the button, the magic button, and make it public, and that'll be that. So I think if you're in Europe by 7 or 8 a.m., one of those two. So definitely by 8 a.m. if you're in Europe by Saturday morning, it will be up and ready to view. So it will be a Saturday morning cartoon. And everyone else can follow suit. So there you go. Everyone else, whenever they get around to waking up on Saturday in little spurts, they can watch it as well. Very excited. I'm glad it's over. Good God, I'm glad it's over. I always get a little sad when each one's over because they really are a wacky little journey, and then you hit that final button and you go, "Aw, that's the end of that. Oh well, have to make more." So stuff's coming. Stuff's coming, folks. I thank you very much, Bob Squad, for joining me on the hardest part of that's the lame ending. I don't want to end it that way. Hold on a second. Let me get some Wild Cherry Pepsi Zero. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Season 3 is on Netflix. Go watch it. I am loving it. Speaking of He-Man, I am enjoying the once-a-week episode release on the Mattel YouTube of the 2000 X series. I think they're up to number 5 now. And it is fun. I think this week is the one where the Andrenids, the Buzz-Off people, and I guess the Avions, the Stratos people, Skeletor tries to trick them into a war with each other, and he almost does, but he does not succeed, of course. And they have the fun PSAs at the end of it, so I like those. All right. Thanks again, Bob Squad, for joining me on the hardest. Oh, snaps! I hurt my thumb. Hold on. On the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. Ba da ba da. Ba da ba da.